Hello students, let us start our new session with a new topic, factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. Now we are focusing which parameters are there over which my resistance value is depending. To understand this thing, let us start with the activity. Focus on to the diagram. Cell is given with which in the series ammeter is connected, with that plug key is there. Now with that plug key, one box is there in which 3-4 conditions we are providing. First case in which we are providing a nichrome material wire. We are using a wire whose length is L, right? And the material type is nichrome. Now, second case, replace this wire with the twice length. So, the length of this wire is 2L and same nichrome material we are using. Now, the third case is we are using the same L length but increase its diameter. Increase the diameter of the wire. So, its cross-section area will be increases. In the fourth case, change the type of the material. So, use copper wire instead of the nichrome. Keep the length L. 4 conditions we are applying one by one and try to get its observation result. So, based on this activity, we can get some observation. First observation we define, the ammeter reading decreases to the 1/2 when the length is twice. First case, while we are applying nichrome wire with the length L and we tried to get the reading of the current through the ammeter. Now when the second condition we are applying, when we are increasing the length with the twice and while we verify its current value, then this current is half. Current value is half while the wire length we are doing double. Now another, while we are applying the third condition, while we are increasing the diameter of the wire, so the cross section of the wire is increases. At that time, while the thicker wire is that with the same material, the ammeter reading current value is increases for the same length. Length is same, diameter is higher, so cross section area is higher, so the ammeter reading, the current value is higher. Now if we are changing the type of the wire, material we are changing, based on that, while we are comparing the current in the first case, in the fourth case, length is same, diameter is same, just we are changing the material and based on that also the current value is different. So by focusing this activity and its observation, we able to get that resistance is depending on length, cross-section area and type of the material. So according to that, we can get it's a proportional factor. Resistance is directly proportional to L, inversely proportional to the area. What we are doing here, we are providing resistance value by observing the current. What we have done? See, observation. Current is decreases when wire length is double. So we can say that while the wire length is double, it has a more resistivity, more resistance value is offered. So we can say resistance is directly proportional to the L. Now focus on to the second observation. Current is increases when cross section area is increases. So we can say that current is more, matlab resistance is less. So resistance is decreases while the cross section area is increases. Means we can say that resistance is inversely proportional to the cross section area of the wire A. Ultimately, resistance is proportional to L by A. While we are removing this proportionality and replace its constant value, it's defined as a rho. Rho is defined its resistivity of the material. SI unit of the resistivity is ohm into meter, and it is defined the property of the material. It's a characteristic property of the material. The metals and alloys have low resistivity in the range of 10 raised to minus 8 ohm into meter to 10 raised to minus 6 ohm into meter. They are good conductors of electricity. While we use the insulators like rubber and glass, its resistivity is very much high, 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 17 ohm into meter. Both the resistance and resistivity of a material vary with the temperature. Now next, factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. So for that, over one table is defined. The electrical resistivity of some substances are given at the temperature 20 degrees Celsius. So here whatever the resistivity constant we are replacing to the proportionality rho, that constant value is defined for the different materials. For silver 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm into meter. 2. So here some of the conductors, some of the alloys and some of the insulators are defined. If we focus its resistivity for the conductors, that is in terms of 10 raised to minus 8 ohm into meter. For the alloys, that is into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm into meter. And for the insulators, that is in the range of 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 14, 16, 17 ohm into meter. By observing this table, we can say that insulator have a higher resistivity while the conductors and alloys are good conductors. Now, we are focusing on one of the example. How much current will an electric bulb draw from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohm? Second question, how much current will an electric heater coil draw from a 220 volt source if the resistance of the heater coil is 100 ohm? Here the source is given same for both the question, 220 volt, but in first question that voltage is applied to the bulb whose resistance value 1200 ohm. In another case, we are applying to the heater coil whose resistance is 100 ohm. So in both the case, we are going to find out its current value. I equals to V by R. In first case, V is given 220 volt, resistance is given 1200 ohm. Place the value V and R in the current equation. I equals to V by R. So we able to get the current 0.18 ampere. In second case, voltage value is same 220 volt and the resistance value is given 100 ohm. Place the value of voltage and resistance in the same current equation V by R. So we able to get the current value 2.2 ampere. So as we can say, if the resistance value is different, current is different. Next example, the potential difference between the terminals of an electric heater is a 60 volt when it draws a current of 4 ampere from the source. What current will the heater draw if the potential difference is increased to 120 volt? Here, first case, potential difference is given V as a 60 volt and the current as a 4 ampere. And we are going to derive its resistance value According to the Ohm's law, R equals to V by I. Place the value of V and I and we are able to get the resistance value 15 ohm. Now in this second case, it says that if the potential difference increases to 120 volt, right? If potential difference is 120 volt and the resistance value is same as we derived from the previous one, 15 ohm, and for that we need to get its current value. So I equals to V by R. V is 120 volt, resistance value is 15 ohm, so current is 8 ampere. So current through the heater becomes 8 ampere. Now the next example, resistance of a metal wire of length 1 meter is 26 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius. If the diameter of wire is 0.3 millimeter, what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? We need to use that table previously what we have discussed and predict the material of the wire. To predict that material of the wire, we need to define its resistivity. To get that resistivity, we need to take another parameters of the resistance it is already given in the example. Resistance R is given 26 ohm. Diameter is given 0.3 millimeter, converted into the meter, so 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. Length of the wire L is 1 meter. So now we are going to find out the resistivity. The equation of the resistance was R equals to rho L by A. Make the subject of formula rho, so that would be RA by L. R is given, L is given. Now we need to find out its area A, that is pi d square. Pi d square. Pi is 3.40, d is given, its diameter 3 into 10 raised to minus 4. Place the value of all the parameters. So we are able to get its resistivity value 1.84 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter. At the temperature 20 degrees Celsius, the table was already given the resistivity value at 20 degrees Celsius. So by focusing this, let us go in focus in the table. And we can get that 1.84 into 10 raised to minus 6 is the resistivity of magnets, right? So this is what it's given last of conductors. Now, go for the next example. A wire of given material having length L and area of cross section A has a resistance of 4 ohm. What would be the resistance of another wire of the same material having length L by 2 and area of cross section 2A? First case is given in which L is given, L, material having a length L, area A, right? And its resistance value is 4 ohm. Second case in which L is reduced by the half, area is increased double. So place the value for the resistance value. So we are having 1 by 4th rho L by A. So R2 is nothing but 1/4 of R1. So R1 is already given 4 ohm. Place its value. So 1 by 4 into 4 ohm. So R2 is 1 ohm. Now, the next topic is resistance of a system of resistors. Ohm's law not only defined for the single resistor, but combination of resistor or the resistive network we also can provide. There is a two methods of joining the resistance together. One in the series, as shown in the figure of the beside. Series means R1, R2 and R3 are connected in same line by end-to-end connection. Next, a parallel connection in which all three resistors, one terminals are connected at one point X, another terminals are together connected at point Y. So this is how the connection is given as R1, R2, R3 in parallel, as we can see in second diagram. So here in both the case, battery, ammeter, plug key, everything is same. Voltage, voltmeter, these are observing. But the way we are connecting the resistance at the different way. First in the series connection, second in the parallel connection. So now, first we focus how the resistors, if connected in series, how they behave. As we know, in the series, while we are providing the battery, in the series current remains same. So only the single emitter is defined over here. From all these three resistors, same current supposed to flow. Now, to measure its potential difference, first, as in the previous slide, is given, keep the voltmeter by combining three resistors and measure its potential difference V across all these three resistors. So that is defined as a V. Now, try to measure the voltage difference across individual resistors. So parallel to R1, keep voltmeter first and measure its value V1. Next, keep the voltmeter across the R2 and measure its voltage difference as a V2. Likewise, place the voltmeter across the R3 and measure the potential difference across R3, that is a V3. By focusing V, V1, V2 and V3, we are able to get the result like this. V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So, it defines that total potential difference across the combination of resistor is nothing but in series is equal to the sum of potential difference across individual resistors. V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. And as we discussed, current flowing through the circuit is same because there is only a single path, only a single loop through which current able to flow. So according to the Ohm's law, V equals to IR. Right? And here V1 is IR1, potential across R1 is V1. So current flowing through it I, resistance R1 and its potential difference is V1 according to the Ohm's law. Likewise, V2 equals to IR2, V3 equals to IR3. Place the values in the given equation. V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V equals to IR. R is nothing but combination of all three resistance. Replace V1 as IR1. Replace V2 as IR2. And replace V3 as IR3. So we get the result. I is common because in series current same. So both the side I is there. It can be nullified. So R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. By focusing that equation, we can conclude that several resistors are connected in series and its resultant value is Rs is nothing but sum of the individual resistance R1 plus R2 plus R3. Thus, greater than its individual resistance we are able to get as in Rs.
Here we are going to end our session. Hope you understood. Thank you.